reason why they can't take advantage of NIL is because the student visa, the F1, does not support the type of employment that has anything to do with something that's not in your area of study. Student athletes are very important to us, and that's why we have a discounted filing program for them as they get ready to transition from having an F1 student visa into the pros. How's it going? This is Sherrod. I am the managing member of Sherrod Sports Visas, and today we're talking about P1 and O1 visas for student athletes. Student athletes are very important to us, and that's why we have a discounted filing program for them as they get ready to transition from having an F1 student visa into the pros. And there's two categories, as we mentioned, that are appropriate for student athletes that are looking to continue their career in sports. The first one is the P1 visa, which is for internationally recognized athletes. And the next one is the O1 visa, which is for foreign nationals with extraordinary ability visas. Now, you want to know what's the difference? Well, it's a big deal, because if you're doing a P1 visa, this is only for athletes that want to continue to compete in their sport, as opposed to an O1 visa, which is more appropriate for people that want to do other things, like say, for example, coach or produce content, or maybe they have a sport where there isn't opportunities for them to compete after they're done graduating from school. And we love working with athletes because, especially in the P1 category, they're already halfway there as far as being eligible. Under the P1 category, there are 7 that you have to prove, that you can prove, and you only have to prove 2 of those categories in order to be eligible. And one of those categories is previous experience in an NCAA league or competition. So if you're already competing for your school, you're halfway there with a P1 visa. But remember, that's only appropriate if you want to continue competing at the highest level. Next, if you're not looking to compete, you might want to look at the O1. And this is very popular for sports such as tennis, where one, it's hard to go directly from competing in college to the top of those major sports. And then also a lot of people graduate from their college program to go work as a tennis coach at a tennis club. And of course, you cannot work as a coach as a tennis club under a P1 visa. So let's go back and review. P1 is for athletes that want to continue competing. O1 is if you want to do anything else. And the P1 is a great option for NCAA students because they're halfway there for eligibility. Now, here's some other things to look at. When should I get started applying for these visas? Ideally for us, we like to engage the students the December of the year before they're about to graduate. That's because it gives us time to really prepare everything we need with the petition. And as long as you file before your F1 expires, you're good to go. So if you're about to have an F1 that expires in May, as long as you file in late April, even after that F1 expires, you're still good to go while your other status is pending. And the other thing that we say is it's good to start early in case that you do not have a strong case. Then you can do things to improve your application, such as do media, do press, apply for some awards, talk to your coaches, talk to other popular athletes to get support letters. So that's why it's important to start early on your application. So 1, you have more time to prepare the application, and 2, if it's too expensive for you at first to do the application process, you can space out your payments. Next is a lot of times these athletes want to bring their parents in. Now, for example, if you were, let's say, a scientist and you were switching from an F1 to an H1B, there's no avenue there for you to bring your parents and uncles and other family members with you under that visa status. That is different under the P1 and the O1. We have a lot of success bringing in extended family members, including parents, using what's called essential support staff visas. That is a P1S if you have a P1, and if you have an O1 visa, it's an O2 visa. Using these categories, we can basically say that your parents are supporting you in your career, whether it be nutrition, whether it be setting up schedules. We've used a lot of things. We've even brought in girlfriends and boyfriends under this category. So that's why another great reason to get a P1 or O1 visa as a student athlete getting ready to graduate, because you can bring your parents in too. If you have any questions about getting started with our student visa program, just contact our office.